Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United hold preliminary talks with Mauricio Pochettinho. Mauricio Pochettinho is the favourite to become Manchester United's next boss. Reports from Spain said not so long ago that Pochettinho rejected Manchester United and is waiting for Real Madrid. Real Madrid want Pochettinho to replace Carlo Ancelotti. Real Madrid are unhappy with Carlo Ancelotti. I'd like to see Pochettinho become Manchester United's next manager because he'd suit the strappings of the club. And I think he would be capable of winning trophies. Plus Pochettinno knows the Premier League well because he's managed in the Premier League before. Before, Pochettinno endured a 5.5-year managerial tenure at Tottenham. Analysing the vast majority of his managerial tenure at Tottenham were competing in and out of the top four. But back in 2018, he got Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final, and at one point he almost won the league when he was Tottenham manager. Before Tottenham, he managed Southampton. He only endured a short managerial tenure with Southampton, but he still managed to guide Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League. So they're the clubs he's managed in the Premier League so far, and a long time ago he managed Espanyol. Pochettinno at the moment is the PSG manager. He's been the PSG manager for over a year. I think he's won a French Cup with them. His contract at PSG expires next year. Pochettinno is expected to leave PSG at the end of the season. Now, Ralph Rangnick has doubts about Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo has only scored one goal in his last 10 games. Ronaldo recently played against Watford. He had his chances against Watford. His finishing was very poor. He did hit the post, he did score, but it got disallowed for offside. Ronaldo was also poor against Atletico Madrid. And he was poor against Leeds at Ellen Road. He missed a sitter in the first half in that game. The last goal Ronaldo scored was against Brighton. But prior to the Brighton game, he didn't score in his last 6 games. Ronaldo will leave Manchester United in the summer, especially if they fail to finish in the top 4. Well, the other week it said Manchester United will allow Cristiano Ronaldo to leave. Earlier on this season it said Ronaldo was set to become Manchester United's new captain to replace Harry Maguire, but that's not happening now. Since Ronaldo re-signed, he's scored 15 goals in all competitions. He's got over 800 goals in his career. Manchester United re-signed Ronaldo last summer for 20 million with add-ons included. He wears a number 7 shirt and his contract at Manchester United expires next year. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives nearly £500,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United at the moment. Ronaldo is the best player in the world overall, despite his poor run of form. He has won over 30 trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. Manchester United recently drew 0-0 against Watford at Old Trafford. Now the top four is in doubt. You know, Ralph Rangnick's aim is for Manchester United to finish in the top four this season. Manchester United's only chance of a trophy this season is the Champions League, and I'm very sceptical we'll win that. So it's going to be another trophyless season for Man United. Manchester United have not won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Ralph Rangnick, you know, he's been Manchester United's interim manager for around 3 months. He's Manchester United's interim manager until the end of the season, then he's expected to take up a consultancy role for a further 2 years. Earlier on this season, it said Rangnick wanted the Man United job on a permanent basis. Unfortunately, Rangnick did not get backed in the January transfer window. Rangnick has endured one transfer window so far as Man United's interim manager, and Man United endured a very disappointing January transfer window because we didn't make any signings. We should have let Lingard and Henderson leave, but we blocked their exits, and we had the incident with Mason Greenwood towards the end of last month. In January though, Man United loaned players out. We loaned Donny van der Beek out to Everton, we loaned Martial out to Sevilla, we loaned Amad Diallo out to Rangers. We loaned Ethan Laird out, Axel Tuanzebe went out on loan, and Tiedemann Menga went out on loan, so we let around 8 players leave in January. Before Manchester United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. I've got a lot of respect for Rangnick. I think he's a very good coach, and he's a German coach, and the vast majority of German coaches are very good. Rangnick has tried a few different formations since he come in. Obviously started off with that 4-2-2 formation, then he went with the 4-3-3 formation, and a lot recently he's gone with that 4-2-3-1 formation. Earlier on this season, Rangnick recommended Ewan Sharping as an assistant coach and analyst. He also recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he recommended Saz Chalenzin as a sports psychologist. Not so long ago, Rangnick was with Paul Mitchell, who is at Monaco. Do you think he'll come in to work alongside Rangnick, Paul Mitchell? As you all know, Ralph Rangnick and Richard Arnold want Erik ten Hag to become Manchester United's next manager, and there's a lot of Manchester United fans that would like to see Erik ten Hag get recommended in. You've got to admire the work Erik ten Hag has done at Ajax. You know, he's developed the young players well, he's won a couple of titles with them. Revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. So there you go. And he's been Ajax manager for over 4 years. Ajax appointed him in back in 2017. His contract at Ajax expires next year. Before Ajax, he managed Utrecht. Before then, he managed Bayern Munich's reserves. And before then, he managed Go Ahead Eagles. Manchester United are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. You know, we've sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson retired. We sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Then we sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite us winning the FA Cup under him. Man United then sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years, despite him winning 3 trophies in his first season. And last year, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after almost 3 years in charge. Man United have only won 4 trophies in the last 10 years. In the last 10 years, Manchester United have spent over 1.3 billion. We've recouped almost 400 million in sales in the last 10 years. And we've brought over 40 odd players in since Ferguson retired. And let me put into the equation, none of this squad is Rangnick, he's inheriting players who other managers have brought in. Manchester United have been in transition now for far too long. No one is going to replicate what Sir Alex Ferguson did at the club. And that's something we've all got to accept. Ferguson, greatest manager of all time. Alex Ferguson brought success to Manchester United. He won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but he didn't settle in straight away, Ferguson, because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Alex Ferguson was at Manchester United for 26 years, so reflecting on that, he was a long-serving manager. Ferguson retired almost 10 years ago, but a lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when he retired. The Glazers, we need to get them out because they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. The Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 16.5 years. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. Revert back towards the end of last season, Manchester United fans protested against the Glazers at the Carrington training ground and at Old Trafford because the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. I'm glad Woodward stepped down at the beginning of this month because Woodward was one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. Ed Woodward was Manchester United's vice chairman for around 17 years. Richard Arnold replaced Ed Woodward as the new chief executive. In the summer of this year, I am expecting Manchester United to make some signings. We'll try and sign a midfielder in the summer because when Rangnick first came in, he identified Manchester United's midfield as a weakness. Man United have obviously been linked with Declan Rice from West Ham. West Ham value Declan Rice at 100 million. We're also in for Harry Kane as well, and it said there's a good chance Harry Kane will come to Man United if Man United are to appoint Mauricio Pochettinho as their next manager. On the other side of things, in the summer, I'm expecting a lot of players to depart the club. So in the summer, I reckon Edison Cavani will leave. Earlier on this season, it said Edison Cavani is expected to leave as a free agent in the summer, and Cavani prefers a move to La Liga. Cavani's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Manchester United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. Cavani hasn't played for a while because he's out with injuries. He's had a few injuries since he signed for the club. Like I said, there's a good chance Ronaldo will leave. Juan Mata, there's a good chance he'll leave in the summer. Mata's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Don't have a great deal of a perception on Mata anymore because he doesn't get in the team. He lost his place in the team a while ago. Juan Mata's had a good career at Manchester United. Mata has made around 277 appearances in all competitions and he's scored 51 goals. Mata has been at Manchester United for 8 years, so reflecting on that, he's been a long-serving player. Manchester United got Mata from Chelsea back in 2014, got him for 37.1 million. Jesse Lingard, I'm expecting him to leave Manchester United in the summer because, you know, he's not good enough and Jesse Lingard doesn't really get in the team. Surprisingly started against Leeds at Ellen Road the other week. Lingard has been part of the club for a long time. He risen up our academy and that. He's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Like I mentioned, he should have left in January. In January it was Newcastle and West Ham that were battling it out to get him on loan. Donny van der Beek and Martial, I'm expecting them to leave in the summer. Like I said already, at the moment Van der Beek's out on loan with Everton and Martial's out on loan with Sevilla. Matic, I think he'll leave Man United in the summer. Matic did recently start against Watford, and to be fair, he put a good performance out. Earlier on this season, he had a shin injury. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders. He's the only predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got at the moment. Manchester United got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017. You know, got him for £40 million. There's a good chance that Paul Pogba will leave Man United in the summer. Earlier on this season, the Telegraph reported that Pogba is open to Premier League offers if he leaves Manchester United this summer. Earlier on this season, though, it said Pogba would be open to staying at Man United beyond the end of his contract. Pogba is out of contract in the summer. Pogba hasn't been that good in his last 2 games. You know, he weren't that good against Watford and he was poor against Atletico Madrid. But apart from that, he's done well in all the other games he's played in since he recovered from injury. Pogba played very well against Leeds at Ellen Road. He was probably our best player in that game, so I can't understand why we took him off. Pogba is injury prone though. He's had quite a few injuries since he re-signed for the club. This season has been Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he re-signed. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far and he's played over 200 games since he re-signed, and Manchester United paid £89 million for Pogba, so reflecting on that, he's our most expensive signing at the moment. We had him when he was a lot younger under the Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. Jones and Bailly, I'm expecting them to leave in the summer because, you know, they don't really get in the team. Man United could look to offload Harry Maguire and Wan-Bissaka in the summer. And I'm expecting Dean Henderson to leave in the summer because Dean Henderson doesn't really get in goal because revert back to last summer, De Gea reclaimed that number 1 spot back. Henderson has only made 3 appearances this season. Earlier on this season he got arrested for abusing his girlfriend. So there you go. So yeah guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.